if you could please mute yourselves, and then if you have any questions, kindly put them into the chat box, and we will be taking questions at the end of this session. And welcome. Today we are talking about making the most of your Virtuoso membership, and our special guest today is Michelle Holmes. For those of you that are not familiar with Michelle, she's our account director for member relations, specifically for 1000 Mile Travel Group. And thank you so much, Michelle, for being here.
You bet. It's a pleasure to be here today, and I want to thank you all for taking the time to join today to learn more about Virtuoso and how you can maximize that membership. So what we're... Oh.
Thank you. And have the system call you back, please.
I'm trying to get it to advance, Karen, so hang on a minute.
Oh, okay.
It's having trouble again, so just a sec.
Okay.
Okay, so today's topics, what we're really going to talk about today are just two things: about the Virtuoso Traveler and the opportunity that you have with Virtuoso Travelers, and then best practices about your membership. So first of all, jumping right into the Virtuoso Traveler and the opportunity, our goal here is to make sure that you understand who the Virtuoso Traveler really is. So this is just a glimpse into what we have found when we survey our members and those clients that you serve. The net worth, so 73% have a net worth of greater than 2 million, and 1 in 5 are self-made under 40. And then 24% have children who are still living in the household, which means from your standpoint, there's a great opportunity for longevity for the future of travel with those people that are in that family group now. They're young, they're building their net worth, and they're traveling with their families. So you're talking about future multi-generation through this door as well. And then you can see what some of the motivators are on the bottom as well, and that 33% actually have a postgraduate education such as a master's. And what we wanted to do now is share a screen or a slide that is, we've used this in the past, but we want to paint this picture. So this is from 2019 and comparing it to 2022. And what you'll see on the left-hand side are those clients that are bucketed as Virtuoso advised clients, those clients that use you and other travel advisors in the Virtuoso network. And then those that are advised, which means they use a travel counselor or travel agent outside of the Virtuoso network, and those that are do-it-yourselfers. What this slide represents is really, if you look at the Virtuoso advised travelers, looking at 2019 and 2022, they spend 4.25 times more than those do-it-yourselfers. So these are the ones you want. Those aren't the do-it-yourselfers are in for budget and to do it on their own. So we're just painting the picture of the value of the Virtuoso clientele. And as you look at what does it look like in the future, there is an incredible net worth growth that is projected for millionaires going forward for, the next. So in 2027, there's 85 million more millionaires that should be available in the pool to book travel for. And if you look at in the US, there is 3 million more expected by 2026. So what we're just saying is that there's a 44% growth in millionaires who are our clientels and your clients. So the future is really, really bright for Virtuoso travelers going forward. And then this is also a study that was taken and shows the industry impact that we make in travel. So if you look at 2023, for travel, we make up 9.2% of the total worldwide contribution of money that circulates around the world. It's growing 23% over what 2022 was and 17 times faster than any other global economy. And in 2022 or 2023, there were 320 million jobs in the travel industry, or 9.6% of the total global market. So you look forward to 2023, and what does that look like? It's going to increase from 9.2 to 11%, more than 11% for the worldwide transaction of money around the world. And it's growing at 2 times faster than any other, than the global economy. So the next piece is the 430 million jobs that will be happening within the next 10 years. So what we want to paint the picture of is that travel isn't going anywhere. It's going to be stronger. And with the millionaires that are growing as well, your opportunity is even greater. Then we took a deep dive looking at the reasons for taking leisure trips. This is what the clients, your clients, are saying. And the top 3 are for relaxing, adventure, and culture, and of course, other components below. But these are the top 3 things that your clients are saying they want to travel for. And when you look at the emotional needs that they want and are taking trips for, it's about joy and happiness, mental reset and refresh, as well as curiosity and exploring the world overall. Of course, there's other components there too. And then we took a dive into what does the Virtuoso travel advisor success rate look like. So we looked at 2018 compared to 2023, and what we have seen in those advisors that are Virtuoso preferred product advisors, you selling the Virtuoso products and services, there is a 70% increase of $1 million Virtuoso advisors since 2018. But if you take that one step further, look at those advisors that are selling $2 million and above. This is again a picture from 2018 to 2023, and there is a 90% increase in $2 million advisors. And your future is bright, as you can see from those other statistics. It's not going anywhere, and your opportunity for managing your clients better going forward is there for you. And then we asked the travelers, the clients, what are the most valuable traits of an advisor, of a Virtuoso advisor? And this is what they told us: good communication, attention to detail, problem-solving skills, familiar with legal requirements, safety and security, and being transparent. Of course, there's other factors as well, but you can see those that are top rated traits of an advisor. This is what your clients are asking for, or the Virtuoso clients are asking for. And then we look at the barriers to using advisors. So why don't they use you? There's some that believe that they can access the trips that they want on their own, so they don't know what you can do for them. Some still like planning it on their own. It doesn't necessarily mean that they are all do-it-yourselfers. They just like to plan themselves. And then some still believe that you're more expensive, which if they're paying for your service, it could be, but they don't know the value of what you bring. Again, this is just some tidbits for you to understand what the world is saying. And then we look at what is going to impact luxury travel in 2024 overall. And what's important to look at here are the bottom 2. It's bolded there that it's geopolitical conflicts, political uncertainty, and environmental concerns and natural issues. We are not surprised at geopolitical conflicts, and we are certainly not surprised about political uncertainty. Because this is an election year, we kind of expected that would be on the radar again for this year. So we just wanted to make sure you knew what we show as the potential impacts for luxury travel in 2024. We're going to move on now to the best practices for training and why that's so important. What we know is that those advisors that are trained on a specific product or service with Virtuoso, so it's a partner education or Virtuoso overall, those advisors that complete the engagement with a partner are selling 116% compared to those that are in the network but not doing the training at 57%. This is a study that was really important that we looked at in 2022. So what it really shows is those that take the time for training are paying off with their sales for those partners they are training with. So sometimes, you're so busy and you think, I just don't have time for training. This is really proof that the training does make a difference, and it's important to schedule that time to be in the know. There's other things that have been refreshed or are new in Virtuoso, and we wanted to make sure that you knew this. There are quarterly peer panels that were introduced. So these are your peers, other travel advisors talking about these particular subjects on a quarterly basis. There's also refreshed core training. So core training is what we relaunch every year, and there's new components that are added each year, or it's refreshed. And what we wanted to remind you of is, we've all taken the core training, but let's say you haven't taken it since 2010 and you say, oh, I already took that. I took that years ago. My question would be, have you changed your business since that time? And have you looked at the new offerings that are available? Even though you started and were really knowledgeable, there's always things that are added. This core training is hugely beneficial and provides you insights to things that are not only new, but things you may have forgotten or that have been enhanced. And then lastly, the learning paths. So there are 3 paths we have. 101 is for the newer advisor, and 201 is a little bit more experience, and 301 is for the advanced advisor. These programs have all been refreshed, so there's always something to learn from these key modules. So we talked about this a little bit. There is a new tech partner session in this Virtuoso course session, and it's now available in a number of different languages. It's been launched to be a worldwide module. It's more interactive than it has been before, and it does provide what you need to know from a high-level standpoint. And from the 101, 201, 301, this is just talking about how it's available to you 24 hours a day. And there's a lot of great information regarding communication, tech, how to use your sales and marketing tools, and about business planning overall. So if you have looked at them, it's just a reminder to check it out again. And this is a QR code if you're interested in signing up for these quarterly peer panels. March 20th, that one has already happened, of course. There should be a recording out there about the strategies to boost the off-season bookings, but then also best practices for leveraging public relations. That one's happening June 4th, and how to use AI in your business, which is really gaining in popularity. That's September. And then how to successfully sell groups. And it looks like that's low on the screen, but that's on December 4th. So you can sign up for these or use the QR code to do the same. For the peer panels, what we wanted to just let you know is this is really a neat new opportunity where a partner selects an advisor that's in the network to talk about how the partner and advisor work together. It's more of a conversational format, and it's really more about sharing information of how you would work with that partner, what were some key learnings and things that were great for the partners to support your business, and just other elements that we think would be really important. So watch for more information on that. Those will be coming out soon. And then these are other programs that we wanted to make sure you were aware of too. So these are immersion programs that are a little bit longer. These are a quarter long. They really provide in-depth learning about a product or service that you can focus on. And there's also short ones, Web 15s and different things. They're great little modules for you to do in between, and they're quick to get through. And of course, there's 30-minute sessions as well you can walk through. What we want to make sure you know is these are really important too on how you interact with a partner. Also gives you an opportunity to be looked at differently for study tours and things. So when the study tours are now being reviewed by partners, so a partner comes up with a study tour, they're amazing FAMs, but they are luxury products and really support those products and services in the network. When a partner looks at the list of advisors, they check out how the form was filled out. So here's just something to think through. Many times you're just filling out a survey, you're interested in a study tour, but if they are incomplete sentences, one word, they're not thoughtful, a partner looks at all of those entries. And if, like, you answer, why do you want to go? It would be really interesting and important to me. That's not really a good enough answer to be considered for a study tour. It needs to be thoughtful. Be thinking about what you would do in a business plan to help grow. If you have a group that you're planning on sending, anything that has to do with that partner or destination that would pique the interest of the partner to invite you on the study tour would be important. And then also, as previously talked about, there's all of those webinars. So if you haven't had a single training with a partner that has, let's look at Japan. If somebody is doing a study tour to Japan, but you haven't had a single training on Japan or been, on webinars with that person, they would probably be looking at alternate candidates who have been engaged with them, who have proved that they're very interested in moving forward and selling that product or service. But these are amazing opportunities, and we're growing with study tours immensely in 23, 24, and 25. The next thing we want to share is really about the power of communities. So I know that Thousand Mile really has a large group of people, advisors that are committed to communities, but this is another set of proof in statistics of why it's important for you. So a community is really a niche focus for your business. It's a way for you to get ingrained with a certain like-minded partner and group of partners that are in a certain style of travel, in sustainability, adventure, cruise, and more. And what this really shows is the effort that you put into communities and learning about that product and service is paying back so much for the Virtuoso advisors. If you look at the cruise pillar, those individuals, those travel advisors that are in the cruise community outsell 191% compared to those that aren't in a community. So again, it's focusing your business on these niche business models, learning those products and services, and then focusing on them, learning them well, and being familiar with the product and being able to sell them. So again, a voice of encouragement to sign up for communities. And also for communities, if you go to Virtuoso Travel Week and you do have a community already that you belong with, it's $25 annually per community, then Globetrotting on Saturday and half of Sunday is complimentary for you. So again, these are the communities in what advisors who are part of these modules, what they are outselling compared to those that aren't in communities. And then I wanted to touch on profile and private label site. It's really important that your private label, that you know what your private label site is, but that you refresh your profile often. And you're probably all familiar with the 6 fields, but it's your photo, how long you've been selling travel, your travel specialties and interests, any language you have, your social media elements, as well as your background. And where we see probably the most help needed is really in your bio, your profile, your background. And what we would suggest is, if you haven't used ChatGPT, give it a try. We have had several advisors that have put their bio into ChatGPT, and it comes back with a beautiful version of it. And then you can revise it and modify it further. So if you need to refresh your profile and you're not one to write that, we encourage you to use that as a best practice too. And then private label sites. This is really important because you want your brand known. You don't want folks to just see Virtuoso only or other advisors. So one of the most important things you can do is know where to find your private label site. And there's two ways. In your profile, there is an actual link that says private label site. You can copy that URL and put that in your email signature so that every time you send an email, it brings your clients right back to you. And then also you would see then the call or email button on the page so your clients can just click there and find your number or email you right there. And also if you're in your private label site, you can share your links. You can do the compare and share feature in virtuoso.com and just be able to share news and articles from your private label site rather than have it just be a generic site without your name attached to it. And if you need help on that, your account manager can show you where to find that. We want to talk about the hotel booking tool for incremental bookings. This has recently been launched by 1,000 Mile Travel, and you probably have heard about this, but I'm just going to go through this part pretty quickly. So your clients can have access to this tool. So your account management team can help you with verbiage so that you can have this in your signature line. And that way, when clients are shopping on the weekend or want to look at Virtuoso hotels, they can click on it under your private label site and make a booking, and you'll get notified of it and it will be tagged to you. So what happens is a client will create their login if they don't have one, and they find you as their advisor. And then they can actually search for availability on the page that you're familiar with already under virtuoso.com. They would select the dates that they want, and then they'd be able to email you if they have a specific interest of a hotel, or they can fill out this information on this sheet and it can come right to you so that you can take care of them through an email as a follow-up. But this keeps you notified of what your clients are looking at and what they want to book so that things can progress even when you're not available to them. So if you are not using this tool, we want you to connect with your account manager at 1,000 Mile so they can help walk through the benefits of this and how to get you set up. There is one other element needed, obviously. They have to say that they send a confirmation to the traveler and that they're not a robot, but we all know how that works. We're used to that. And as an advisor, under your drop-down tools, under advisor, you can see your hotel bookings that are out there. And on the bottom here, you can see that when your client is signed in with the email tied to your profile and that you have in the traveler profile, they can click on My Advisor to find out more information about you too. So it goes right to your name and references your name. And now about reviews and recommendations, and I want to make sure I get to a couple of these things. So this is really an important element. If you're not using reviews and recommendations, it is really recommended because it is verified. These are Virtuoso travelers that have purchased Virtuoso products and services and used a Virtuoso advisor. And because 1,000 Mile does share transactional data with us, once you're opted in for reviews and recommendations, 5 days after the client returns, they will get a survey. And it says, tell me how Lisa did. Would you give her a thumbs up and make a recommendation? And they can write a little reply, a recommendation. And then it would also work for any Virtuoso product or service that is used or booked. There's also an opportunity to rate them as well. Again, this is a verified program. It's over 1 million surveys deployed, and it's verified. 99.1% are recommended. And we hear it a lot that, well, what about that one that doesn't give me a good review? I don't want that out there. Well, we wouldn't want everybody to be at 100%, because if everybody is 100% across the board, then how trustworthy is it? We want the opportunity to have growth, reality, and have real reviews so that there is a trust in the Virtuoso and the Virtuoso advisors. If you have questions on the reviews and recommendations, please contact your account manager. And this is just a sample of what it looks like if a client receives those requests to give a survey. Next, we have lead generation. And this is really important too. You know, what Virtuoso is doing is we are educating the world on what Virtuoso does, but we don't book travel. We connect them to our important and valuable advisors. So what we're trying to do is point them back to you, and the leads that some are receiving are amazing. So we encourage you to, if you're looking at increasing your Virtuoso type of leads, please consider lead generation as a product add and work with your account manager so you too can receive those that don't have an attachment to an advisor today. And then marketing impact. I'm looking at the clock here, Karen, and I see that we have about 4 minutes. I'm going to breeze through some of this pretty quickly. But the important thing to note here is if you haven't taken the time to look at the Virtuoso marketing impact, there's proof that it works. So you can see here that in 2021, 22, and 23, the average for the last couple of years is those that are receiving print magazines, direct mail, and email as a combination spend 38% more than those that don't. And looking at them individually, Virtuoso, the magazine, those that are receiving the magazine are spending 92% more than those that are not. So if you have an allocation from 1,000 Mile that you're not using, you can look at your top producing clients, and we suggest you giving them this magazine as a gift. Next, direct mail, those are 28% more spending than those that don't receive direct mail. And email is up 12% from those that don't receive email. So the combination then is the 38%. So as a reminder, you select who receives Virtuoso the magazine, and Virtuoso reaches into your database, and based on the interest that you select, we do the monthly catalogs, the mailers, and the emails for you. And as a reminder, you do have your personalized branding on all of these pieces, whether email or on the publications. And at any time, if you wanted to find out who's receiving this, you can check on your dashboard and your My Marketing calendar to find out more information. Under My Marketing also, there is a year at a glance marketing calendar, and your account manager can show you where to find that, but it's easily available for you to pick and choose, see what's happening for the publications and other marketing. And then attending Virtuoso events. Some of you may not be attending the events and may not think it's important or worth it because of time and energy, and you may not be working the same way that you do as if you're at home. But this is just showing you, for those advisors that have traveled or had attended a Virtuoso event once, it's 20% increase. This is from 21 to 23. Those that attended 2 events sold 45% more. 3 events sold 49% more. And those that attended Virtuoso Travel Week or Connects or on tours or whatever it might be, if they did it 6 times in those 2 years, they sold 63% more. Virtuoso Travel Week is upon us. There's a lot of changes this week. There's a lot of information coming out tomorrow, and rather than take time, given we've only got a minute left, please check the emails out about the changes this year, and you can request to attend starting the 3rd. And then the last thing is that there's always help at Virtuoso. I would love to be the one to receive emails for helping you, but given my travel and different things, what I suggest is reaching out to help at Virtuoso. I certainly do receive a couple emails from you and appreciate the opportunity to serve, but this is your hotline for help. And with that, I don't have any more. I went exactly 30 minutes. So Karen, I'm not sure there's
Wow.
questions.
Yeah, okay. So does anybody have any questions? I'm not seeing any currently in the chat. So I'll give you a minute if you have any questions for Michelle. I don't see anything, Michelle. Oh,
Okay.
Tracy Range, she would like to understand a little bit more of what globetrotting means.
Oh, okay. So the first 2 days of Virtuoso Travel Week, starting Saturday and now half of Sunday, globetrotting is where you have a little bit more immersion with partners that are in communities. So there will be pavilions set up for cruises, let's say, or adventure. So any partner that is in the adventure community will be participating in this little section. It's actually a big section, but there's like 15, let's say there's 15 partners in adventure. And what you would do is you would be having a more immersive experience with that partner or each one of them in adventure that are in that community so that you learn more, have more education, more time, just a different type of experience than what you would get on the tracks during the appointment schedule the rest of the week. So it's just a deeper, more immersive experience. That's globetrotting.
Thank you, Michelle.
You bet.
When did you say that the Virtuoso Travel Week information will be emailed to everybody?
So there will be it's actually open the 3rd of April under advisor tools, you can go down to the link that is events, and they are starting to post all sorts of information out there. And registration request to attend starts the 3rd of April. And it's going to be limited attendance this year. So it's important that you request it as quickly as possible if you're interested, because there's a 27% decrease in the number of appointment tables this year. They've revised it so that it's more based on matched appointments instead of the speed dating that's 4, 6, or 8 minutes as it has been in the past.
Okay, and then can you tell us, do you have to stay the entire duration of Virtuoso Travel Week? Are you able to just go for a certain amount of days?
You can go for a certain amount of days, and also professional development, which has typically only been on Sunday, is now also available Wednesday afternoon. So for those advisors that don't want to attend the first part and want to attend the second part, one of the things we heard from the surveys is professional development is important for those attending midweek and beyond. So they added that component too.
Okay, great.
Great.
Okay, that's everybody's questions. If
Great.
anybody thinks of anything, I will just get in touch with me and I can send those questions on to Michelle for further addressing.
Great.
And somebody's saying, Elise Anderson is saying, do you have to attend all week to do the globetrotting?
No, globetrotting starts on Saturday and ends Sunday afternoon. So if you want to come in just for globetrotting, you could do that too.
Wonderful. Okay. Well, thank you everybody for attending today. And thank you, Michelle, so much for your time.
You bet.
We've enjoyed this presentation so much. Thanks so much.
Thank you. See you soon. Okay.
Thanks, Michelle.
Thank you.